Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of the Fully Charged Gardener. Thank you very much for tuning in again. I really do appreciate it. So I don't know if you remember, a few months ago I was lucky enough to be invited along to a Stihl press day where they had all the new machines that they were bringing to the market and we could have a go with the machines. And on that day there was one machine that really stood out to me and I said to myself, I have got to get me one of those. So I went and got me one of those. The brand new Stihl MSA 300 battery powered chainsaw, and I got it with the 16-inch bar, the Stihl Light 04 bar with a very cool paint job on it, and I also got two batteries. Now the batteries are important with this machine. You need to have the new Stihl AP500S batteries to run this machine to its full power potential. Now, from previous experience making these videos with battery machines, and quite rightly so, all people are interested in is how long does the battery last. And these batteries have a nifty little feature built in that lets you know just how long the batteries last. If you look here, you'll see that little connected symbol, and that means that these AP500S batteries have built-in smart connectors. So what you can do is you can link it to your phone and the Stihl Connected app, and it will tell you exactly how long the battery has lasted, which is very cool. So I'm going to do that in today's video. Now, I was thinking long and hard about how to showcase this saw, and I thought, shall I go into the wood yard, put it on a sawhorse and just chop it into some logs just to see how long the battery lasts. I thought, nah, it's a bit boring. So on a walk through the woods here the other day, this beautiful woodland, I noticed this. Very sad. It is a wind-blown ash. I think it had ash dieback. In fact, I know it had ash dieback, and it's come down in a storm quite some time ago. So what I figured I could do is we'll go down to the brashy end, because this saw actually has 3 power settings. So what we'll do is we'll use it on the first power setting, the lowest one, on the thinner wood. And as we get up through into the thicker wood, ooh, missus, that's what she said, we can start up in the power and having a bit more fun. And it just shows it in a more real world scenario. And as a bonus, I get some firewood out of it. So I've got to fill this up with chain oil and put some PPE on, and we'll go have some fun. Let's go. Sorry guys, before we go sawing, there's just a couple of things I want to show you on this saw, unique features. I'll try and be as quick as I can. So we've just filled up with chain oil, which leads me to the first cool feature. On the bottom of the saw here, if we can get it in focus, can you see that? There is an adjustable oiler, so you can adjust it depending on what length bar you have on the saw. Another cool feature is on the very nice shiny magnesium sprocket cover, we have captive bar nuts, so your nuts aren't going to drop off into woods. You can also add extra saw dogs if you so wish. Another very nice feature is this saw, like the professionals, all the other professional saws, has an anti-vibration system built into it, so it is very nice and comfortable to use. Now in here, when you take your battery out, there are 4 screws. Undo this and you will expose an air filter. There is actually an air filter on this saw, so it's important to check that and keep it clean. The other thing I'd just like to show you very quickly is the cockpit. Now here you have the power button to turn the saw on, and one of the first things you'll see is the big red light. That is to warn you that your chain brake is engaged. Next to that there is a thermo warning, so it will warn you if the saw is getting hot, which is useful. And then next to that there's a button here. If you press that, you can change your power settings, which is very useful. Right, I think we've covered everything. No, we haven't. No, we haven't. We also have a slot here for a smart connector if you want to add one as well. So lots of nice, useful features. Let's go cut some wood. Okay, so the battery light is flashing at me now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the connected app on my phone and refresh it. Right then, and what I shall do is I will put the runtime up on the screen for you guys now. Okay, so bear with me. I'm going to do this freehand with the camera, so I'll try and get it as steady as possible. But this is what we've cut with the saw in that time. So everything from little bits to fairly chunky bits of wood. That's what she said. In fact, I'll tell you what, I'll get the saw, remembering that this is a 16-inch bar. Sorry if it's wobbly, I will try my best to keep it still. So 16-inch bar. So we were getting into some pretty good sized girth. Yeah, pretty chunky bits of timber. So all of that, I think that's pretty impressive for one battery. One more walk down. And then it's also worth noting that those weren't the only cuts, because there's a big brash pile there where there was lots of cuts. There's some more brash over there, and there's some more brash over there. So all in all, that's a lot of cuts.